my wife and I were federally indicted for supposedly, allegedly wanting to maliciously harm the United States using private health information.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It was a theory by a prosecutor in Baltimore who somehow got an email my wife sent from her Johns Hopkins work account to the Russian embassy saying we are for life and we don't want to cut Russia off from the international community. When she said we, she meant me and my husband. The same day that she wrote that email on March 1st, 2022, I wrote to Doctors Without Borders. My 10-year prison sentence was ending, I knew, in August of 2022. And I had lined up a job to work in the emergency room at Johns Hopkins. Doctors Without Borders was a very appealing organization for us to use our skills to help in an environment where everyone's running away. And so for 6 months, the FBI spied on us, found nothing negative, and then created a sting operation where they pretended to be the Russian intelligence to try to extract medical records from us. And the next thing you know, in the news is there's a federal indictment, 2 doctors in Baltimore wanting to maliciously harm the United States, sharing private medical records with Russia. It was, oh, and by the way, the first transgender Army officer is one of the doctors. And despite everything I've been through, I love the United States. I love our Bill of Rights. I love that we have checks and balances. I would not be a free man if there were no checks and balances in a Bill of Rights. And I'm proud of the care that I gave thousands of combat veterans at Walter Reed.
So what is the evidence they had against you?
They photographed some of my handwritten notes that I had done years before at Fort Bragg, because I had already left Fort Bragg in July. The sting was in August. I had nothing on me. They were extracting these records with threatening our family, threatening Anna's family in Russia, threatening our children. My marriage was threatened by this entire situation of Russian intelligence trying to get us.
Was there concern that you were a Russian asset or your wife was a Russian asset?
Yeah, that's what the federal government thought about both of us, despite spying on us for 6 months and having no evidence of that. They created this environment where we felt threatened and coerced for them to take photographs of frivolous records of no one of importance. They couldn't even identify them without the Army's help because I used a DOD ID number, not a Social Security number, not a birthday. It was a DOD ID number. And I knew that when they took the photo that they would not be able to find these people. But of course, it was the FBI and it was Army counterintelligence. And because my wife saw the camera that the undercover agent had on the very first visit, she was afraid that this was not someone from the Russian embassy. This was FSB. And this is dangerous.